Have you ever noticed that sometimes you eat and right after a strange tiredness appears? Your eyes feel heavy, your body slows down, your concentration drops, and you feel that urge to lie down for a few minutes. This happens even when you didn't eat much. And many people interpret this as laziness or lack of energy. But actually, it is exactly the opposite. Feeling sleepy after eating does not mean your body ran out of energy. It means your body entered energy management mode. And the one who decides this is not the stomach. It is the brain. The most common idea is simple. Food gives energy. And it does. But too much energy also requires control. The human body does not work like an empty battery that needs to be filled. It works like a system that must maintain stability. Every time you eat, the organism receives a large amount of information. Not only food, metabolic information, type of nutrient, speed of absorption, amount of glucose, future energy availability, and the brain must interpret this. Minutes after eating, especially carbohydrates, blood glucose rises. This is expected, and it is not dangerous. But the body cannot allow this glucose to circulate freely for too long, so the pancreas releases insulin. Insulin has a clear role: remove glucose from the blood and move it into the cells. In other words, after a meal, the body changes state. It leaves the energy-seeking mode and enters storage mode. And this completely changes brain behavior. When available energy increases, the brain understands one thing: it is not time to spend, it is time to conserve. For thousands of years, eating was a rare moment. After a meal, it made no sense to run or waste energy. It was the safest moment to reduce activity and process nutrients. The brain still works like this. It reduces vigilance and increases rest state. Sleep does not appear because of lack of energy. It appears because the brain perceives energy abundance. Insulin does not act only in muscles. It also acts in the brain. And one of its most important effects is influencing neurotransmitters. After eating, insulin favors the entry of tryptophan into the brain. Tryptophan is used to produce serotonin, and serotonin is the precursor of melatonin. In other words, food generates relaxation, not psychological, biochemical. Not all foods produce the same effect. Meals rich in simple carbohydrates raise glucose rapidly. The faster the rise, the greater the insulin release, and the stronger the brain rest signal. That is why you feel sleepier after rice, bread, pasta, and sweets. Not because they are heavy, but because they accelerate the metabolic safety signal. The body has two major states: action mode and recovery mode. They are controlled by the autonomic nervous system. Before eating, alertness predominates. After eating, digestion predominates. This state naturally induces relaxation. Sleep is an indirect consequence of digestive activation. Sometimes this sleepiness is intense. Thinking becomes difficult, and you feel mentally disconnected. This usually indicates a rapid glucose fluctuation. It rises fast and then drops fast. The brain interprets this as energy instability and reduces activity to avoid excessive expenditure. This is not weakness. It is metabolic protection. The intestine also participates. It releases hormones that inform the brain that nutrients have arrived, and along with that, they reduce motivation for effort. Your body is prioritizing digestion. From an evolutionary perspective, it makes no sense to run after eating, so the brain slows active behavior. Maintaining intense focus consumes a lot of energy. After a meal, the body reorganizes resources. It activates digestion, transports nutrients, and produces enzymes. To balance this, it reduces cognitive expenditure. You feel this as difficulty concentrating, not because the mind failed, but because the body changed priority. Some people feel less sleepiness because they have smaller glucose variations, less spike, less drop, less brain interference. The problem is not eating. It is the speed at which energy arrives. After eating, the organism is not shutting down. It is working intensely, producing reserves, regulating hormones, and rebuilding tissues. The tiredness is only a change of priority. You did not lose energy. Your body is investing energy internally. Our modern routine does not match biology. We eat and immediately return to mental effort, but the body entered recovery mode. The discomfort comes from the conflict between environment and physiology. Feeling sleepy after eating does not mean error. It means the brain recognized energy safety. It is an ancient survival signal. You are not weak nor lazy. Your brain is simply managing resources. The problem only exists when sleepiness is extreme every day. Otherwise, it is expected. Human. After eating, the body understands. Resources are available. It is safe to slow down. It reduces alertness to protect you. Maybe post-meal sleepiness is not a body defect. Maybe it is just an ancient system operating in a modern world. The brain does not want to stop you. It wants to balance you. And when you understand this, you stop fighting your own organism and start working with it. If this kind of explanation helps you understand your body better, subscribe to Human Function and keep exploring how the human body really works.